Hey, folks, one of the Redneck Country Podcast. You're on with Real Redneck Todd Millard. And, of course, we got the almost guy, Real Redneck Bill. Tom, Bill, are you there?
I am here, and it's a beautiful night for a podcast.
It is a beautiful night for a podcast. You know how I know that?
How do you know that?
Because whenever I can do that whole intro without taking a breath or even, like, missing a beat, I'm ready to go. It's a good night.
Yep, the head's all cleared. Everything's good to go. Things are ready to rock and roll.
Nice. You're not pulling me into that one.
Yeah, come on.
It's all clear head. Yep. For those that don't know, they were just chirping me that they said, "Oh, you got to clear your head," and Bill said something along the lines of, "Yeah, it's like an Escher sketch. As soon as he shakes his head, everything goes blank, and he's ready to start fresh again."
It erases.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's pretty much the way it was, but the way I said it was funnier because you know.
And see, if I steal it from you, I got it now. There, it's out. It's out. You can't chirp me now. We're all good.
It's all yours. Yep, you can own that one for now.
We're back to standard podcast etiquette where I'm the cocky jerk that gets to chirp yous, and you guys just take it and roll your eyes that nobody can see.
Not really. The whole context of the conversation ahead of time was pretty good, wasn't it, Bill? That was
wow.
Yeah,
was good.
Can I tell you something?
And my mic is hot.
Dad, well, before I even introduce him, Dad's even on point tonight because he just said 2 C words in one sentence and didn't even mix them up or screw them up. The context of the conversation. Can you do that one more time?
Well, certainly. The context of the conversation was
ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to dance. Sitting beside me, as always, and on point tonight is my father. I don't know what he ate, but maybe nitroglycerin shot or something. Is my father, the patriarch of Redneck Country, Real Redneck Todd Millard. And Dad, just to keep true to tradition, is your mic hot?
It certainly is.
Good deal. Yes, we are on fire tonight and late for the podcast and late for me being on.
I was ready to go. That, right? Yeah, I was going to say, because I'm always ready. And I was ready to rock. I'm like, Jen, it's 7:15. I'm going to go down the studio, get the headset on, get the mic ready, and have everything going and wait for Dad to show up because he'll probably be late. And then he's got to get a tea. He's got to walk around, eat our leftovers from supper that's laying around the house.
I was here, and I did not even touch a bite. And there's tons of leftovers up there.
It's hard to believe with Todd in the house eating. You know, he's gaining weight and trying to get all buffed and
it's bulk season. I'm now up like I'm 9 pounds up since 3.5 weeks ago now. Like we're rocking and rolling.
Holy smokes!
Right? I'm gonna go nuke some later. And I told Jen just leave it.
The only thing I could say was you're welcome because I'm sure you weren't ready to the level that you talked about. And if it wasn't for me being late with my eye doctor's appointment, which was great, by the way, because we talked about shooting glasses there. But yeah.
Well,
yeah. So,
excuse me. I was taking a drink.
There? I mean, we're in COVID protocol here, and I'm glad you're on lockdown over there. I mean, I got a bunch of rapid tests here I could send for you if you want.
It's all good. At my age, I'll survive it. If Dad goes, I inherit a bunch of guns. We're rocking and we're okay here. Let's just keep going. It's all set. Yeah. Mom will be rejoicing. We're good to dance. So
you're one hunting accident away from inheriting a whole bunch of guns.
I took a drink, thought of a joke, couldn't get it out, and I started choking.
Yep.
So
let's just slow down.
That's not. It's not. It can't happen. So you had an eye appointment. I'm interested.
I did.
To hear what you did this week. But let's go backwards then. Let's start right now because we were talking about lenses, and you were going to see the doctor about shooting glasses, possibly.
Well, I had my eye appointment, which was every couple of years. I got to go get things checked out, and I was just inquiring about the option of tinting my lenses or getting shooting lenses, and they won't do them there. It's not that they won't, but they don't feel that the Ranger frames they can make the lenses to go into that. So they're not a shooting glass company. He would really like to get into that. Dr. Bond here is fantastic. The only thing he said when I had my eye appointment after I got my exam is, "You don't look so good." And I said, "Well, thank you. I'm on radio for a reason."
Why we don't video podcast?
That's right. So my eyes got a little bit worse. My stigmatism got a little bit worse. But at the end of it, that means I can get new lenses for my shooting glasses. But unfortunately, they won't do them.
Your shooting glasses, Are you talking like special lenses? Are you?
Yeah. Well,
he wants Randolph Rangers, right?
Which
Am I
is
right?
what I got. Yeah,
but you want prescription lenses for your Randolph. So the eye doctor has to have a contract with Randolph or something like that, or they have to make. I don't understand. I know my glasses came from Morgan Optical in New York.
That's where mine came from. That's exactly where I got mine from. And I showed them the frames and the lenses and stuff. And I said, hey, we have shooting club right around the corner from here. I mentioned Pila, and I said, they're very, very expensive. I can't afford them.
Nobody's got more money than shotgunners. I will put that out there right now.
And he got on his phone right away, and him and I were looking at the differences in Morgan and there. And he says, oh, Pila is Zeiss lenses, and that's why they're so expensive. And I said, yeah, but these ones here, the Randolph Ranger REs, they were like $300 with a set of one vermilion lens that I got in them. And I said, I'd like different colors, like a purple or a color mag or whatever you were talking about there. And I said, I don't know if you can do it or not, but if you can, I think you got a little bit of a market here that nobody's tapped into, right? And being an optometrist close to the gun club, you may have an opportunity to put some more, money in your pocket or whatever. But
nobody's got more money than shooters. Tell you what.
All I did, I just took a pair of frames in and I said, put a lens in here, and I took in my shooting glasses and I said, match this color, and they did.
Yeah, they'll do that if I only want one color. They said, no problem. They
fixed
said,
glasses,
take whatever
right?
you want, fixed glasses. I have to wear prescription anyways. I've tried contact lenses with a cheaper pair of frames, glasses, like I won't mention any names, so I don't want to get sued or anything, but they're good glasses, but I wanted something I didn't have to wear contacts in. I could just take my regular street glasses off and put my shooting glasses on, and I was good to go. And
the key, though,
treated me pretty good.
Yeah, and the key, though, is their lenses, right? Like he said, Pillas or Zeiss, right? So you get those lenses, and then you get with prescription in them, you get the benefit of the quality lens with your prescription in that. And the color, it's not like, oh, well, we'll go dye these lenses to match that color. Some of the lenses are proprietary, like they're trademarked or their invention for the lens. Like I know that Randolph Rangers and now they've got others. I mean, there's Randolph. I can't think of the others, but
there's all kinds of them.
Yeah, they've got their special lenses for like the what are they called? And I have them. Darn it, I'm trying color mags. Color mag is the color. I think that's what they call it. And it's more expensive than your vermilion or your orange or your yellows because it softens greens and it really brings out orange. And I think like that lens for me, just the lens was $100 with no prescription in it was like $170 just to have that lens for my frames, right? From Ranger. So to say to an eyeglass place, put in that color mag, they're not going to be able to, they'll match the color, but there's more to it, I think, right?
We had that conversation too, based on like what a vermilion for the Morgan's Optical is compared to what a pink lens is for the eye doctor. You know what I mean? They don't have the same technology in shooting as you would in like a glass that you can get at your eye doctor's. I guess.
CMT, that's what they're called from Rangers. Color mag technology increases the contrast between the target and its backgrounds, delivers up to 250% more orange color than a standard lens.
I will take any advantage I can have.
Well, see, and I was using them when I first got mine, right? So I was using them, but my problem was I was jumping at the target because the target is so bright at that point. It comes out, it looks like the sun, and you're like, I got it, and I got snapping. So I switched, but now that I've been shooting under the lights, that's what those targets are, and I'm getting used to it. Yeah. So I actually went back to them on this past Sunday, and they do. Yeah. I mean, they make that orange against every background, but especially against green, but that orange, it's like a sunbeam coming out of there.
Yeah, I notice. I don't notice a great advantage to the vermilion lenses in the wintertime. And this is the first time I've shot, but like the Winter League and stuff, and they're not, the targets don't pop the same as they would in the summertime. And I don't know if it's color, maybe it's just my head playing doing me in, but I want to try a couple different lenses for different circumstances. But the eye doctors won't do it, and I'll just get the prescription. I'll get it quoted. Actually, what he did say was, hey, whenever you get that quote from those guys, show me. So maybe I can find you somebody, and maybe like an Oakley frame or something like that, and we can have an interchangeable lens for that. So we'll see. More to come on this one.
Yeah.
More to come.
Yeah, right on.
So so that's kind of what there. And the other thing, I don't know how much we want to get into this, but I had an experience this week that I never thought I would have.
Well, now, you bait me like there's so many jokes in my head right now that I can't even get them all out.
I threw that lob ball way over the fence there to see what kind of wit you would come back with, and it was flat.
Guard. I'm still looking at lenses on it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was served on a silver platter right there.
That's what happens when what's in your head is hollow and things are bouncing around inside.
What was his name, Bill? What was his name?
Hello Fresh is what it was. So I had meals out of a box this week, which is something I never
way to have a meal eaten out of a box.
I know. The only reason I did is because I won't waste food. So
I'll buy into. You don't got to say that one twice. I'll believe that.
Yeah, I could stand to miss a meal or two. I mean, I'm not like my brother or nothing, but I could stand to miss a meal or two. And but I tell you. I don't know what got into your head, but this box showed up at my door. I don't even know when it was. Maybe Monday?
Last Wednesday.
Yeah. It's only Tuesday. Last Wednesday. And we opened it up, and I was impressed.
Right? See, I told you.
The only problem with this box is I'm out in the garage working after the meal, and my wife comes out and says, see, we could get this. This doesn't look too bad. We could probably make this work. I'm like, no. We got the free one. We can get another 3 free meals. And after that, until the kids move out, I'm going to the grocery store. This whole box thing is not going to be what we're going to do long term.
It is expensive, right? In the long haul. I mean, because it is so handy. You're paying for convenience.
I got a 16-year-old kid that is got a bottomless pit for a belly, and he'd go back 4 times. He loved it. But Violet liked it. Candace and I liked
it's high quality food, really. Like I was impressed with the quality of the meat and the quality of like everything that came. Like it was. And Dad, I've got it for you before. Like it's high quality. And then again, we ain't sponsored by HelloFresh, so I'm going to say it. So when we've done it, we kept all the recipes, and now there you go. You know what to go buy, and you've already prepared it before, and you've got the what do you? I call them instructions, recipes.
Yeah, that's what they are for you. They're instructions, suggestions.
And so we've done it. Like I did the Italian burgers again last week, and Avery, my 8-year-old, was like, Dad, can I have another burger? I'm like, she's halfway done it. I'm like, you finish that one, I'll be impressed. I mean, she's like 50 pounds soaking wet. Good luck on that. So by the time she was done it, she was full, but it tasted that good that halfway through she was like, hey, so I mean, they're quality. You're paying for convenience. You don't have to go to the grocery store. It shows up.
I took a little bit of offense to that because you felt that I needed, because I can't hunt enough. Is that what it was? I couldn't put food, meat on the table for my family because I didn't get a deer this year yet. It's
Bill's birthday. Candace's birthday was coming up. So I was like, I said to her at your birthday time, like, what would I get Bill? What would I send him? And I gotta, like, it's tough because you got to get it to you. And right now with shipping and everything else, and how do I know what you've bought, what you haven't? I don't want to step on Candace's toes because it's your birthday and it's Christmas. And so I'm like, you know what? I know what I can order. They'd never even know it's coming, and I can do it from here. And I'm right dead smack in the middle of both their birthdays now. This is perfect. So
she says to me Wednesday when she comes home, did you order food in a box? I said, absolutely not. And it was absolutely not. Like, I don't order food in a box. And it just clicked right away. That's Todd. That's got Todd written all over. And then
I got stuff to chirp you on podcast. I take away your chirping of me now. You can't chirp me because you ate the food in a box.
I did. I have to say I ate it and I liked it, and it was very tasty. And I very much appreciate the delivery and
see, you still make your own sauces and everything with it too, right? Like you just
made. There was a white I don't know what it was, sauce that it was a dipping sauce of some kind, and she made it again tonight from the recipe. So
see,
it's a do-over.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It does.
You can't kick the grin off my face with a golf shoe. I'm all happy right now.
Hey, and the other thing I have to say is happy belated birthday.
Well, merci. Yeah. I appreciate it. For anybody that's not in Canada, that means thank you.
Yeah.
It's the only French I know. Well, no, it should be the only. There is another couple phrases, but they get me in trouble.
Well, I'm going to jump in here because I was going to give you a shout out, Bill, for fixing us up with Todd's birthday present. That was awesome. Totally awesome.
I have to agree.
Idea that it was going to be ready. We pulled that off great.
I agree. You guys are pretty sneaky on that one.
Yeah, that was awesome. When we said to him a few times that, you said a few times that, I'll get after your hide in the new year. We'll see how it turns out.
And I was so anybody that what he's talking about is Dad had lined up. I think we've talked about it on the podcast that Dad wanted to have a deer hide tanned and made into a rug, and Bill has done this before. So Dad had the full intentions. He had mentioned it. Bill's like, I'll do it for you. You shoot the deer, I'll do it for you. So Dad had full intentions. The deer he shoots this year, he's going to do it. So he ends up shooting one in the neck. Perfect. He didn't mess up the hide. He can get it to Bill. So I shot one in the neck knowing that I may possibly do one myself. And I was going to do it too. So I lined up, precision shot through the neck, and so that on purpose. And so I said to Bill, okay, you're going to do Dad's. I'm going to do mine right along beside you. So as you go, you can coach me remotely and we'll knock this out. And
he actually did say that.
I had full intentions of doing this. So we skinned the deer really nice, really easy. You gave us the instructions once we get the skin off, what to do. We got the hide off, what to do with it, salt it, cut the fat off, which I thought we did a good job. Apparently we needed to do better, but so thought I did all right. And then you sent me the instructions and showed me the devices that you've built to do this. And I'm looking, going, yep, Dad, you're going to take mine down to Bill, and Bill, I will pay you whatever you require to make this deer rug out for me. So anyway, so Dad took him to Bill, and
that was an experience.
And you said it was going to take a long time.
Yeah, let me start there. That was an experience. I had to take it to where Bill worked, Richmond Hill, which says about 2 hours from here. Well, then when we got on the road, I didn't realize it, but Waze on my phone was set for no toll roads. And I had no idea where I was going to go. And it took me right down through Toronto and places that I'd never been before. And I don't ever want to be again. 6, 8, 9 lanes of traffic. I'm telling you, horns were honking. I had even trying to follow Waze. It says stay straight for the 401. So I'm in about the 3rd or 4th lane. I'm figuring the 2 right ones are going off, and then I realize 4 go off. And now I'm cutting 2 lanes, trying not to hit that post in the middle that divides the off ramp. Cars are honking at me. Like, it was chaos. And it was 40 to 45 minutes longer than the 2 hours. I mean, my buddy Bill went with me. He wasn't even driving, and he was a nervous wreck. And so anyway, we get there.
Well, anybody not driving that's driving with Dad, you're going to be a nervous wreck. I don't care if it's Toronto or Elmer.
He kept saying, I don't know how you're doing this. I don't know how you're doing this. I said, just hang on there, Bill. If you see someone not supposed to be doing, yell at me. So anyway, we finally get there and we meet you, and that's fine. So we drop them off. So, we've got it down, call me as soon as they're done. And if it's a few days late or after his birthday, we'll go with it. Because when he orders stuff for me, it sometimes is late, and I'll just tell him it didn't come in yet. So, and you kept saying, not
my fault. We have supply chain issues.
I'll tell him that you were sending me updates on mine with pictures, and you said that I'll get to Todd's in the new year. And I said, fine, I'll just wait to pick mine up when his is ready, make one trip. So in the meantime, I changed the settings in the phone. I said, Todd, change the stupid settings in this phone so that I can take the 407. So lo and behold, you call me on Friday and tell me they're ready for pickup. We're celebrating his birthday on Sunday. And then you realize, hey, I'm going to be at Richmond Hill on Saturday morning. You can meet me.
I changed my plans and
awesome.
I was able to make that happen.
So anyway, Bill says, yeah, I'll come with you again. As long as we take the 407.
Which what I didn't say was, it's funny because a longtime friend of mine, actually an ex-girlfriend from way back in the day, had messaged me on Facebook and said, and I haven't talked to her in a long time. So I'm like, why am I getting this message? And she messages me and says, I just saw your dad at Woodstock at Tim Hortons. And I'm like, what? That's why is it's Saturday morning? Why is he at Woodstock at Tim Hortons? Him and another guy. And I'm like, well, that's really, I said, are you sure? She's like, Todd, truck, redneck country. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, okay. And so she's like, well, ask him what he was doing. And I'm like, no, it'll be something to do with Christmas. And I said, maybe I should message him and say, hey, let's go to the gun club right now and see what he says. She goes, oh, do it. But I didn't. I let it go. I figured it was Christmas. He was going somewhere in Woodstock to get something that he couldn't get here.
Yeah, and Todd didn't want to know in case it was for him. And
I never want to know.
Shoot, I didn't know she saw me. Like, he told me this Sunday night after he got the gift. I said, I didn't know she saw me. Why wouldn't she say hi? I haven't seen her or her parents for quite a while. Well, a year or two. It would have been nice to have a visit. So I don't know if she's just going by or whatever. But anyway, I was spotted, but it didn't get out of the bag. And he never connected. He never clicked because we stopped on the way back. We got there in 2 hours. It was perfect. And when we got to lock him off the first time, you said to me, well, when you go home, the 402 is just 3 blocks down here.
407.
407.
It was just, 3 blocks up the road.
3 blocks up the road. And straight down to the 401 and then home. And I went, oh, you got to be kidding me. So, yeah, it was simple. We just came up the 407, 3 blocks. You pulled in right behind us. Perfect.
Now,
timing worked out well.
Unlike stealthy, simple is something that I would compare when I think of father.
Anyway, and then we zipped home. And so I said to Bill, let's pull in here at Woodstock and get some lunch. Oh, great. So, all right. So we're all set for Sunday night now. And I wrapped it up. And I told you how I was going to do it. Put in there happy. I put it under tissue and happy birthday from Mom and Dad.
And then he's like, you got to go live on Facebook for your gift. Yeah. Everybody in this house moans and groans every time I go live on Facebook. Oh, we're live on Facebook. Why does our life have to be broadcast on Facebook?
But I told Bill I'd do that so he could enjoy your reaction. And so Bill said, oh, good stuff. So anyway, we have lasagna and salad and fancy buns and we have the cake and the ice cream and sing happy birthday. And there's a few gifts handed around. And I said, and I got a surprise. I said, your gift came in. And Todd said, it did not. I said, it did. Your gift came in. It came in yesterday, right in time for your birthday. He said, you've been telling me it's going to be 6 weeks late.
Yeah.
I said, yep. But it didn't. It came in yesterday. So I was in the car. So I went and got it. And I said, but there's a catch. You got to be on Facebook on your phone. And he fought that tooth and nail. But we finally got it on, and of course the rest.
It's got to be on my own accord.
Yeah, and he kept
I'm not just a light switch. I can't just turn it on.
And Megan started on hers, and she goes, "Hey folks, it's Todd coming at you." and they're like, "No, it's got to be on Todd's Facebook, so all his followers see this." So anyway, Jen does it, and he gets on there, and Glenda says, "Well, say your thing." No, I'm not. That's not my thing. Dad's got to say what we're doing. And so my wife jumped in and said, "Hey, folks, it's Todd coming at you."
Blah, blah.
Beside him.
But it was pretty cool. And I'm telling you what, it is awesome. And I even have the bullet hole where I shot it because I was able to skin it perfectly. So, I mean, not to sound cocky or arrogant or anything.
Yeah, that was the in and out.
I was a little bit concerned because when I was brushing the hide out, I was like, there was a spot of hair that I just couldn't get to sit right on it. And then I looked, that's where the bullet went through. That'll never sit right. But I hope they turned out well for you guys. And awesome. I hope you liked them.
I slept with I put it on that night on the bed. I think I sent you a picture, as creepy as that sounds, everybody. Yeah, I'll own it. I sent Bill a picture of me in bed in a deerskin rug.
I wasn't
on the deerskin. I was in the deer.
And then I
I woke up And I had to take it off, Bill, because there's one thing about a deerskin rug that I just learned. They're freaking hot.
They're warm.
And then I was able to enjoy mine, let everybody know, and I took some pictures of it in the living room in front of the fireplace. And I have since now moved it downstairs in my office in front of the fireplace. And it looks really cool down there because that's where I've got all my mounts and stuff down there. And so that's where it is, and it looks cool. Everybody that's seen it just thinks it's awesome, and it is.
Mine was on the kitchen table.
Was it? Yeah. Well, I was trying to do them right for you guys and get them as soft as possible. So if you wanted to put them on the back of a couch or on the floor or even use it as a blanket, you could do that too.
Oh, dude,
so.
it's awesome.
It was great, and it was very much appreciated, and it just worked out great. And so, yeah, we were able to surprise Todd for his birthday, so that was a highlight. As far as I was concerned, that was really good. It was awesome.
That's good. And I just got a message from my brother here, and it says, "What's going on with the pod? It used to be my Monday drive. Now I can't even get it a Tuesday out of it." So
we like to keep you on your toes. We're doing tests. We're trying to figure out where the most downloads, the biggest audience comes. If we release it on a Sunday night, we've always done that. Maybe we'll release it on a Monday night. Maybe we'll release it on a Tuesday night. But really, folks, it's just our lives got busy. So we record when we can, and I launch it when I can.
Yeah, that's Christmas season here.
I know what he's like with his drives. You know, 2 drives up to Richmond Hill.
If Dad knew how to do podcasts, he'd be rocking and rolling.
I thought, good, no more of these road trips, and that's a heck of a drive, and it's all high speed highway and all kinds of traffic. And lo and behold, I had to do another one today, but the opposite way. I had to go to Wallaceburg, which was an hour and a half, to pick up trap loads because we were getting low, and we realized we're not going to finish the inner club without me going down there and picking some up.
I bought 80 boxes. I'm rocking.
80 boxes.
80 boxes.
Yeah.
I bought 5 flats of 16 boxes in a flat.
I bought
4. That's an odd number for that, by the way.
Well, it's because they're the retail 4-packs that you would get at like Canadian Tire, the Challengers. That you'd go into Canadian Tire or whatever, and they have the 4-pack boxes.
Yeah,
so
that's how I bought my Challengers.
Yeah, they're those flats. Those come in 4 boxes of 4 in a case. So they're like a 16 flat box. So they were actually cheaper than buying the 10 flat box. I'm all down.
They were.
So.
Yeah, that's exactly how I bought mine when I went up to Tremblay's Tackle Box, because they didn't have the regular 10-box flat, so I had to buy them the same way as you did.
Yeah, they're like a retail pack versus it's different, but it was cheaper and worked out for me. So I bought 5 flats. I got 5 flats of 16, so I got 80 boxes there. I still got some others, but
so I called Bill this morning. I told him I was heading to Wallaceburg. Do you need any? He says, nope, I'll pass. And that was it. I was on my own. I don't think he wanted. Yeah, I think 3 trips with me would have been just a little bit too much for him. I think.
when Dodge Rams start packing a defibrillator, he'll go again.
Yeah. So I didn't blame him. But
anyway. So there you go. I think that's a good start to the podcast.
No, that's what we all did this week. That we covered the gambit.
Right. And
yes, Jay, we're trying to get him done. I blame your brother.
Yeah, when in doubt, blame Bill. That's the way it goes.
But yeah, we're busy. It's the holidays.
And we shot in the wind on Sunday, and oh my gosh!
Did it suck? Holy crap!
Yeah, it was challenging. It was fun. I mean, when you
it was not fun.
You sporting clays or trap?
No, trap, but
it was
it looked like sporting clays.
One guy actually said, you got to shoot them like sporting clays.
Oh, yeah.
If you had rhythm or anything, you were screwed, right? Like because
you had to chase them.
You know your sight picture, you got your rhythm, pull bang, you're done. There's no way you're shooting them like that.
Yeah, if they didn't come up. You whooped, man. It was fun. You were good if you got one. That was awesome. Yeah, everybody was laughing and having a good time.
No, I wasn't.
You're just throwing lead out in the air and hoping it hits something.
Yeah, they're not cheap now, right? Like that's the problem. Yeah.
But there was a couple guys shot a couple good scores. Yeah, I was amazed. But it was good. We had fun. That was really neat.
That's good. And now we're getting into the Christmas season here, so I'm going to shoot Saturday for sure. I get my gun back. My gun's all busted up again. So.
Have you got it back yet?
I haven't got it back. I talked to Frank today, and he's. I think I'm getting a new stock, but that's a story for another podcast.
Are you really?
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. He said,
like your stock's cracked.
No, what he said was,
Precision
Bert's going to do the best he can to fix the stock that you have, but he may have another stock if you want it. And I don't know what that means other than, I said, yeah. I mean, if he's got a stock that'll fit, that has adjustability and that, he says, yep, he's got one. We'll adjust it on Saturday for you. So I don't know what it is.
You're getting a new stock and fitted, buddy. That's priceless. You're good to go.
Well, the price is, he hasn't said anything about that yet. I might be, looking for a second job to pay for all this stuff. But
just don't get in your own head that, oh my gosh, it's new. It's a new stock and I got to shoot different. Shoot the same.
It might be better. Because,
I guarantee it.
Change.
Yeah, well, hey, you're going to get fitted. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. The worst part is, I don't know what it's supposed to be like for weather on Saturday, but if I got extra clothes and stuff on, it may be a little bit too.
That's
like the pull might be wrong. But
time of year,
we'll figure it out. But we'll let you know on Saturday afternoon how it went, and if it went great, I'll tell you. If it didn't go good at all, we'll just keep quiet.
I love it. I love it. Right. I'll pray it out of you.
Are we finishing up? I mean,
I think we are. We finished last podcast. We finished our controlled hunt stories.
We were done on Thursday.
I think the last story we told was me finishing off the final tag with my third deer, the last buck we shot. Not to sound cocky or arrogant or anything, but now it's over to you, Bill.
It's going to be a short story.
I will relinquish my time, except when you're done, I want to bring it back because we get asked. I wanted to prelude with this. We get asked a lot about what is redneck country, and by people that don't know, don't have a clue, probably don't even care to know. Just small talk. But I want to share from our deer hunt and stuff. What is redneck country to us? Like one example. So I'm just going to drop that, and then you can take it away. Take it away.
Yeah, I don't. It's going to be short. I mean, we didn't.
Why? Why, Bill? Why is it going to be short?
Because I'm to the point.
Because
we don't have Bill or we don't have Jay or TJ, the guys that shoot deer on the pod.
No, it's because Bill is not arrogant or cocky. He just gets to the point, right, Bill?
That's right. The words I use are succinct. Is that a right word?
Oh, that's well said. Yes, I can be very succinct. I choose not to, but I can be.
You choose not to be. So, anyways, I think the last deer that we shot actually was earlier in the week on Tuesday morning. We shot 2 deer. The Jay and TJ did a great job. Like I said before, I got a lot to say about how they shot their deer. They did all the work and stuff like that when it comes to skinning and getting them ready to go. But the remainder of the week, we saw deer, and I think we're going to finish off with my big brother, Paulie, came into camp on Thursday night, I believe. Thursday night or Friday? Thursday night. Maybe it was Friday. Doesn't matter. We'll say it was Friday just to have a conversation here. But Paul Yuritovich, he's like an older brother to Jay and I. He lives up in Magneto and he's just...
Is he the manly one out of the three of you?
Yeah, former military guy. I'll give you that. He works for Electrical Safety Authority, and he's worldly as far as his hunting experience. And I think he would be a good guy to have on the podcast at some point in time because he can talk you quiet. I can promise you that.
Well, then I disagree.
But he's hunted over in Romania for red stag and wild boar over there, and he's in Germany and all hunted all over the place, and he's got some good stories, and he can tell them.
That's awesome. But, I'm down.
Yeah. The one thing that he does do really well is cook, and well,
then we have to do it in person.
Yeah, and he would too. He'll tell you everything, all the recipes, what he puts into stuff. And Friday night, he came into camp. It was Friday, and we had a feast. We had mussels, we had chicken wings, we had wood-fired pizza in his little pizza oven that he brought into the camp. It's like this backpack pizza oven that we had, and we had a feast on Friday night.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's one of the ways that we end off the week. We had our the tenderloin from the deer that Jay and TJ shot on Wednesday night. I did a charcoal barbecue and did that. So Thursday night was kind of a leftover a meal, and then Friday was our feast that Paul, the big brother Paulie, put together, and it was a lot of fun, that's for sure. But that day we kind of ended off our hunt week because we all were getting ready to pack up on Saturday, and I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have passed on the deer I did, but I did anyways.
Hindsight 2020.
Well, I tell you why, because we were, I had been texting you throughout the course of the week about deer I was seeing and deer I was passing on. It wasn't big enough. It was a doe. It looked small through the scope. It just wasn't, it didn't look like a big deer. But on Friday afternoon, I pulled out all the stops. I took every last bit of apples I had. And Friday, I spent the entire day in the stand. The morning, I put out, I don't know, 5 pounds of apples or more. 40 pounds of apples. I put out every last bit of apples I had left. I put them out there. And I said, if my brother can do it with all the apples he puts out, I should have the opportunity in my neck of the woods. But I don't know what he does over there, because it certainly didn't draw the deer right to that apple pile like it did for him. But I ended up I saw first thing in the morning on Friday morning, I was in the stand, and sure enough, I had a doe that came out. And if I wasn't looking, I wouldn't have seen her, because she came for probably 5 seconds, and I had the gun pointed in the right direction, and I put the scope up on her, and by the time I had her in the crosshairs to see what she was, over the hill she went, and I didn't get a shot. So
you were gonna pull the trigger, but
I had it in my mind that I was going to give her a good look, and if that deer, was not the same ones that I had seen all week. She looked a little bit bigger from when I originally saw her, but she was 175 yards out, but it was an easy shot. Like, I had the shooting rest. I was 30-06. It was a very, very doable shot. But I pulled the gun up, and as soon as I did, she took 2 steps and she was over the hill. So not much I could do for that one. But I ended up saying, you know what? I've got these apples out here. I'm going to stay in the stand all day. But I didn't bring food. So I had Meals on Wheels delivery on Friday. I have another shout out to my brother, because he makes some pretty good sandwiches. And he came out to stand.
Meals on Wheels.
Yep, Meals on Wheels. I put in my order, and he come to the stand with a couple of sandwiches,
like one of those golf cart ladies on the golf course.
Yeah.
Would you like some beverage or a sandwich?
Not nearly as good looking, but he made it out there anyways.
I don't know why she had an English accent either. I've never been across the pond, let alone play golf over there. But
yeah, but she had it nonetheless.
Hey, Jay, if you ever deliver me a sandwich, I need it done with an English accent, please.
Yeah.
I guess it's just what I picture when I see him.
Yeah. He came out and dropped off a couple sandwiches. We sat and had a chat for a few minutes there, and the TJ and Jay went their separate ways. I think TJ was there at that time too. They went their separate ways, and I got back up in the stand, and I sat there for the rest of the afternoon. And sure enough, I had 2 more opportunities, and I had a small doe, the same one that I've been seeing all week. She came out to my right, probably with, I don't know, an hour left in the hunt, and she came out, and I looked at her in the scope again. And again, this is the last hunt, the last afternoon that I can hunt. And I looked at her and I said, no, I'm not going to shoot her. She's too small.
No, and you passed, eh?
That
last
one, yeah,
day,
I did.
got a tag.
Day. That's right. So now we're in the last.
You know why? Your belly was full.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's like going to the grocery store when you're full. You're only going to buy what you need. I mean, you're looking going, yeah, I don't need that. Now, if you were hungry, look out.
We got to hunt mad. You got to hunt hungry. Yeah, I guess so. But the very last light, I had about half an hour. The sun went down, and it's in that last half hour, which I call witching hour, or the magic hour, whatever you want to call it, when the big bucks are going to start moving. And I had a feeling that there's going to be something moving. And sure enough, my radar screen goes up, and I'm on high alert, and I got the rifle, pointed in the right direction where I think the deer are coming from. And sure enough, it happened exactly the way I expected it to. And out of the bush, probably 65 yards out, directly in front of me, a doe comes bursting out of the bush. And I didn't tell you the story, but a doe comes bursting out of the bush, and like typically at that time of night, they'd be just mooching along. They'd be coming out of the bush, kind of looking, having a little snack. Well, she comes out of the bush like she's being chased, and I'm thinking, well, I don't really have too much of a shot at this deer from the way that she is. She's coming out of the pines right in front of me. If she had to run into the field, I have all kinds of shots. I got a 160-yard swath right in front of me where if she comes into the field, I got to shoot anywhere in there. Well, she didn't. She skirted the bush line and went from the pine block, and I saw her for probably 60 yards across. And I'm thinking, she's got to have something fall on her. This time of night, it's perfect temperature, and sure enough, out of the bush comes another deer with his head down.
Bum, bum, bum.
And I'm waiting. I said, fella, it's got to be the buck, because that doe, when she came out, that other deer.
Okay, for all the non-hunters right now that are like, why does anybody deer hunt? Tell us, Bill. At that moment, you've done all week, sat in the tree stand all week. You've passed up deer, and then you've been heartbroken, like, darn it, should I have shot that big doe I saw on the first day and I let it go? And now you're 5 days in, let all these deer pass. You just had a smaller one that you thought, was just too small. And it's for this moment. All in a split second. Happen in like 10 seconds. You're disheveled. You haven't seen nothing all day. Bam! There's a freaking buck.
And that's exactly.
Your heart's pounding. There is no drug on the planet that can put that much adrenaline into your system in one shot. Am I right? And now you're thinking, holy crap, do not screw this up. This is what you've been waiting for.
Well, that's exactly right. And I tell you, I didn't hear a deer all week. Did not hear a deer all week. I saw plenty of deer, but I always saw them before I heard them. And those two deer were the exact same. If I hadn't have been looking in that spot, with my eyes scanning the bush line and my binoculars and the whole works, I would not have seen that deer come out of the bush. Or not have heard it, that's for sure. And it took four or five steps, and it was through that 60-yard, because she was moving. And then not 5 seconds later, this other deer comes out of the exact same bush with its head down, and I got the scope, and all I can see is from probably the center point of the belly to the top of the back, and I could just see. And I got the scope on right on the shoulders, and I'm thinking, lift your head. Just lift your head. Lift your head. And it didn't. and I'm convinced if I had pulled the trigger and that deer would have dropped, and if I had walked up to that deer, it probably was a buck. I don't know what it was, but when it moved, I was waiting for it to come out of the second clearing, and it just didn't. And I'm heartbroken now because the doe, I guarantee you, was an estrus. I guarantee you that second deer was a buck with his head down.
And you never could get a shot, eh?
I could have had a shot. Absolutely, I could have had a shot at that deer. No question at all. But I didn't see its head. And never, from the whole time that I saw that deer, it was like it was walking without a head.
But what did you care? It's the last day.
Yeah. And positive identification.
You need to hunt with us. I just throw lead.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have just shot and said, hey, I think I hit something brown. I hit something
there wouldn't have been,
brown.
I hit something brown.
Yeah, go back to 2 podcasts ago and tell me all about that. So now,
don't try this at home, kids. That's not the proper way to hunt. You listen to Bill. He's very, very responsible.
I'm all about it, right? I mean, the positive,
he has to order food in a box to be able to survive, but he's very responsible.
Yeah, I don't have. You notice I was doing other people's hides this year and other people's taxidermy and stuff because the almost guy had an almost hunt. Right,
ladies and gentlemen. gentlemen, if you want to, you need to get yourself a friend that can't shoot nothing. You get to use their tag, their limit, and they're more than happy to help skin your deer and create rugs for you. Just so they can touch a real live animal.
Yeah. The experiences are real, my friends. The experiences are real. So.
But we appreciate it for you, about you, Bill.
Yeah, well, I ended up having another almost guy experience. Well, after the hunt was over too, because I'm not as smart as your average bear, and I went to take my tree stand down.
If you say things like that, what do I have left to say?
That's it. This is where I'm going. I'm taking all your wit away from you and putting it right in mine.
You would never say anything like that, Todd. You're too cocky and arrogant for that.
Yeah, that type of obvious humor is below me.
You're right. So
let that marinate. Let that marinate for a minute.
I was interested in taking my stand down on Friday night after the hunt, because Saturday morning I was going to get packed up and leave. I had to get out at a reasonable time because we had a few things. I had to go to Kingston to see my daughter, which is another story for not on a podcast. But I went to visit my daughter, and so I had to get things done Friday night to prepare for Saturday morning. So this is what the almost guy does. He takes a stand down by himself, and most people that wouldn't be too bad.
Is it a ladder stand?
Yeah,
like leaning against the tree?
Yep.
Okay.
It's a single person ladder stand leaning up against a tree that apparently...
If they're on a good angle, I'm okay with that. But if they're fairly perpendicular, that can get a little nerve-wracking when you crack that last strap and you're up there 15 feet in the air.
And then what happens when you do that and the tree stand swivels on the tree and you have nothing to hold on to besides your britches? Things get a little dicey quick. Because
you're a bull rider, buddy. You've been through worse.
I rode that tree stand right to the tree, and I had one little 3-inch sapling right in front of me, and I had my foot on the sapling, my one hand on the other the pine tree, and my other foot on the ladder stand, hoping it wouldn't swivel one more inch because I was going to the bottom of that tree stand. And now I'm all starfished out there, 12 feet, 15, 18 feet up in the tree, looking at it in the dark by myself, thinking, now what?
The bearded starfish.
If I let go of anything here, I'm going to the bottom of this tree stand. I don't know what to do. So I contemplated my options for a few minutes.
As the muscles are starting to twitch and quiver.
Yeah. And I kicked off the 3-inch tree in front of my stand, and I bear hugged that pine. And I tried to reattach one of the straps and couldn't do that.
As you're hanging on to the tree?
It was.
See, I would have loved to have been there. Not to help you, just to laugh at and act, because I'm picturing it. And honestly, I've got to go pee now that I'm laughing. But being there in person, that's priceless. I'd want to see that.
That was the closest I had come to a tree stand falling on me. The end of the tree, but I ended up somehow miraculously getting it down, and I didn't fall, and the tree stand is still in good shape to hunt out of it next year. But that was another almost guy moment right there, where it could have went real bad real quick, and nobody was there to even capture it on film. So.
We need to send a camera crew with you.
Yeah, right. I'm sure they'd be bored.
It wouldn't be a hunting show.
Yeah. This is the almost guy. This is how we hunt. You get Meals on Wheels and apples, and it's all fun. It's all good. So,
you wouldn't have to worry about losing any sponsors.
No, I certainly would not. But you could sponsor me if you wanted to.
No,
that'd be good for your product,
I want
right?
people to buy the product.
Hey, there's got to be somewhere like fall arrests, tree stand harnesses. Fidget spinners. I don't know. There's got to be something.
Fidget spinners for the bad hunter. You are onto something. I like that. The almost guy's fidget spinner. Well, are you in the tree stand for countless hours on end? Do you never see a deer? When you do, you don't even take a shot. This product is for you.
You've got something happening here. I tell you, we could be onto something. You better not post this one, because we might have $1 million idea.
Yeah, right
you know
there.
what else I was
Ladies and
thinking?
gentlemen, that idea is trademarked. Yeah, go on.
I was thinking for the old guys, I got this real good idea for old guys that are up in the tree stand.
Listen up,
people
Dad.
who like to sleep.
He's talking
People
to
who
you.
like to
I'm
sleep.
offended that he said that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I saw your picture and how you look like an old guy with your beard and your ball cap on there. So let's table that conversation for a minute. So here's my idea, which I think every hunter would, at one point in time, would like. This is a hat clip that goes onto the back of your hat, so that if you want to take a nap, you just connect this thing to the tree, and your head doesn't bob, and you don't fall out of your tree stand because it's connected to the tree. And then if you want, it's got like a quick release on it. You can, you take yourself a little nap
in case you do want to head bob and I'm almost out. I better hit that clip so my head can drop.
Quick release and I got a deer, so your head's not too close to the tree. This could be $1 million idea, because I know that you've been in the tree stand and you've fallen asleep, and only thing that caught you was the fact that you were about to fall out of that
Not this
tree
cat.
stand.
Now you're talking to Dad. Yeah, it's the reason he wouldn't hunt tree stands for many, many years. And it's the reason now when he goes in, he's harnessed up more than an arborist.
I can sleep no problem in a tree stand. I'm harnessed to the
Darn
tree.
near duct tapes himself to the tree.
I can get so comfy, my head can go hangs right down on my chest, and I can sleep like a log.
You don't need a grunt call, I'll tell you that.
That's the one thing I can honestly say I don't do. I don't sleep in tree stands.
Well, I don't sleep on a regular day, let alone in the tree stand.
No, I don't sleep when I
Turkey
hunt.
hunting's a different story.
Well, that's different.
I'm on the ground, you're lounging, you're chilling. I'm usually with Dad and Bill, and it's like peer pressure. If you ain't sleeping, you're not the cool kid.
Yeah. Give in to the temptation.
It's the soothing sound of. Oh, geez, they're hypnotizing me. I'm about to go out.
Yes, I've got pictures of them sleeping next to me in the turkey stand.
Oh, come now. You're never awake enough to take my picture.
I got
and then it'd be, hey, Todd, I was going to take your picture. Are you sleeping? How do I get my camera up on my phone?
Now you're challenging me. Now they're going to hit Facebook. I got them.
Then it's going to be tomorrow. Hey, Todd, how do I post these pictures of you sleeping on Facebook? Oh, wow.
All right. I want to hear your morals and
what is redneck country? Morals and values, old school country morals and values. Like I was going to go on a big rant on how it started, but I don't think we need to do that. I mean, it's been going for darn near 6 years now. And when we first founded it, I guess you could say, just hanging out and came up with the idea, and attribute it to some buddies that we'll get into it on another pod, maybe even ask them to come on and we can all discuss it. But what I want to talk about was what is it? When somebody asked today, what is it? And I mean, this thing is growing into all kinds of different avenues and facets and all over the place, like from intro to goose hunting clinics at Cabela's to decoy setups and intro to goose hunting at the gun club or waterfowling and then intro to trap shooting and all kinds of jazz. That way, it's gone the other side of the probably the most important is like assisting with $2 dinners in a community and giving back and stuff like that. And really, that was the epitome of it. Was like when you're driving down the road, a backcountry road, and you see the old guys, they wave every time. And you're like, you'll be driving with somebody that's not from that lifestyle. They'll be like, "Did you know that guy?" No. Well, he waved. Well, they all wave. Like that's just how it is out here, right? And it's that old school country morals and values. And the redneck people are like, well, is that I've been asked, is that a racist term? Are you trying to say something? No, the theory is you got a redneck from helping your neighbor in the sun. That's where it came from. I don't care who you are or where you're from. Good folk is good folk. That's just how it is. So Dad had told some stories and went on, and I'm going to probably pass the torch over to Dad here, and hopefully he can take the torch and run with it here. But he told some stories about his longtime buddy who he started deer hunting with, who we talked about on the podcast before. I'm going to call it the Lily effect because he still, to this day, hunts with us every year for deer season. Now, we don't see him all the time. We'll run into him because we live in a small town. We'll run into him quite a bit. He'll come over for supper from time to time, but it's always ecstatic pleasure when you run into him because we don't run into, and he is honestly, he is the epitome of redneck country. Like Dad, I always say is the patriarch, and my mom is as well, right? Like the matriarch that they instilled the morals and values, and they lived that life. And, Dad's even had a community award. Mom and Dad were recognized by a place for the, I don't remember what it was, Dad. And I know you don't want to talk about yourself, but I'm cocky and arrogant. I could do it. But they were given an award, it was recognized by a local church here in St. Thomas for being community driven givers, like that thought process. Now, I'm a little more egotistical than they are, and I'm trying to be a little more humble, but it's tough.
You are reining it back lately.
Right, yeah, I'm dialing her. The beard is brought a bit of humbleness to me. So now I get why you guys have them. So, but Dad's buddy Bob is that, but he is the epitome, because I've never heard him say a bad thing about anybody, and just his actions speak volumes. And so I don't know, Dad, can you take it from me doing that, or do you want me to start with stories?
I can tell you a little bit about avenues that we went down that he showed that. And first of all, from firsthand, he'll be the first one to say, I'm the last one to pick a stand. You guys go first.
Absolutely.
Where do you want to go, Bill? No,
I want to say his name, Bob Lilly. Yeah. So anybody that knows him, Robert Lilly is his official legal name. Bob Lilly. So anyway, go on, Dad.
He'll say, no. You guys, I'll take what's left. And he will not.
You can't get him to pick a stand. You can't, Bob. You haven't shot a deer yet this year. I've shot. I don't mean to sound cocky or anything, Bob, but I've shot 3. So you take the stand. You go. You pick. Nope. You guys pick. I'll take whatever's left.
It's more than once. I thought it was Bob walking up when we used to hunt. Just him and I. When Black Powder first opened, it was just him and I. We went out and bought muzzle loaders, and we hunted together. And more than once, we'd pick stands. I'd say, okay, you stand here, I'll stand there, whatever. And I'd hear him, which I thought, coming up behind me. And I thought, why is he coming over? And it was a deer. I never expected in a million years a deer to come that way, because he would have had to seen it. He would have shot. I would have known there's something coming, because he would have shot. And what happened? Did you not see that deer? No, I let him go because I figured you'd shoot him and you'd get him down. Bob, I thought it was you. I wasn't ready.
And it wasn't his lack of confidence. It was the fact that he genuinely wants you to shoot a deer.
Yeah. More than once that happened.
That he would shoot one if he knew nobody else was going to, but there's a chance that you could shoot that deer. I'm going to pass that deer up. I'm going to let it come to you.
Yeah.
Would you do that, Bill? You got a buck walking to your brother, and it's one you'd shoot, and you're like, no, I'll take the chance that it walks by my brother because he needs to shoot a deer.
Sorry, Jay, that deer's going down.
Right?
But even more than that, like we became friends long before Black Powder ever hit, and we started hunting Black Powder together. Like I would mention to him, like we'd share, we'd hang, and I said, okay, window fell down in my car. It won't wind up. It come out of the rack. I got no window. It slid down inside. Saturday morning, I'm going to have to take the inside door panel off and see if anything's broke, put that window back on. He said, I'll give you a hand. Oh, I'll appreciate that, Bob. It'll be a chore I've never done before. I get up about 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, and I think, well, I should give Bob a call, and I go outside. He's already got the door panel going back on. He's already showed up, fixed it, put the window back in place. Car wasn't locked. He was able to get into the car.
Classic Bob. That's what he does. We're going to skin deer. Okay, Bob, we're going to meet at 10 o'clock. 8 o'clock, he's out there skinning deer.
One year, my wife and I decided we're going to put a above ground pool in for the kids. And there were a couple crabapple trees in the backyard when we moved there. Not really popular trees to me. They dropped them stupid little apples. They weren't really good and shady, but one of them had to come out to make room for the pool. So I said to Bob, hey, you got a really good chainsaw, and I wonder if I could borrow that chainsaw Saturday morning, take that crabapple tree down. It's not a big tree, but I'd just like to get it down. Well, yeah, I'll run it over to you. I said, well, what time? I said, well, we're usually awake around 8 or so. 7 o'clock, we're sound asleep, and we hear, wah, wah. He's in the backyard, and he's got that tree down before I can get out of bed and go in the backyard and see what's going on.
And it wouldn't have mattered. You wouldn't have been able to get that chainsaw out of his hand.
No.
There is no ifs, ands, or buts, and you can't argue with him. Like, how old is he now, Dad? 76?
Yeah, he's about there, yeah. He's a few years older than me, yeah.
And he is still The first guy to drag a deer. He's still that you can't stop him. And it's like, Bob, he's now his sciatica's hurting him, and he still wants in there. Bob, stop it! You're 76. I got this, and you can't get him to stop because that's who he is. If he can do it, he's gonna do it, and you are not because he's there. He's got this, and he's the guy that no matter what, if you need something, he's there before you can even ask. And to me, when Dad said this, that's why I said I wanted to talk about Bob on the podcast. And so many people say, you know, what is redneck? That's the epitome of redneck country. If you're that person, and trust me, I'm still aspiring to be even a tenth of the man that he is. But that is my dream of what when somebody thinks of redneck country, that's what they think of. They think of that person.
People like that, that's for sure.
Amen. Like, and he is just, it's unreal what he does. If you follow it, he goes and he'll shovel people's laneways, and he is 76. Bob, you're shoveling. Why are you shoveling that person's laneway? Well, because I knew they weren't going to be home. They should be shoveling your laneway. You're 76. No dice. You just can't stop them, and that's what it's all about.
He's always thinking of somebody else.
No, that's it.
We go
completely
to church.
Unselfish. That's probably, to sum it up, unselfish. 120%. That's redneck country. That's what I want you to think when you think of redneck country. Go, Dad. Sorry.
We go to church. We talk about Christian values. And I have said this more often than not. I've said he is the person that's the most Christian person I've ever met, and he doesn't go to church. He's just that way. He can give a lot of church people an example, really, seriously. And yeah, he's just a pleasure to be. I'm just proud to call him a friend. I'm just proud to know him, and we've been buddies for a long, long time. And he's always there for you if you need him. Nicest
guy on the planet. I like, impossible to even hold a candle to the man. And that's redneck country, and laugh and have a good time while he's doing it and not care about much. Let me tell you that. He's also the guy that has had multiple chances on Bugzilla and didn't even care to pull the trigger. Just gets on the radio and lets me know, hey, Todd, I got Bugzilla sleeping right here on an island. Shoot him, Bob. Oh, he's majestic. He's just sleeping. Shoot him, Bob. Oh, he hears me. He's standing up. Shoot him, Bob. Oh, there he goes. My gosh, is he big? Just likes to be out in the wilderness. Yeah. But we call him Deadeye. We call him Deadeye Bob because, I mean, he can knock deer down. He can shoot. There's no doubt in my mind. He's put him down on the run with his muzzleloader, open sights, no scope, old Italian hawking, 130 yards on the run, drops him. No problem.
The first one at your stand to help track and to help drag. First one every time.
Guarantee you can't stop him. And he's got he'll be the first one with the knives out, ready to rock. Bob, I got this. It just
loves doing it. Loves being part of it.
It's just the unselfish. Doesn't want you to do it. He can do it. If he can do it, he's going to do it. And if everybody was that way, think how much easier the world would be. No selfishness. No, and that's what I always say, we talk about, you got the alliance. We got what I call the inner circle. You've got to be that unselfish person. And he is the epitome of absolutely unselfish. Like, I'm pumping up Bob, but it's that personality that you want to be the perfect hunting partner. You want to make sure that you solidify your way in a group, and guys want you be that person. And to me, that's what I aspire to be. That's what I want people to think of when they think of redneck country.
And that's a great thing to aspire to. Somebody like that is invaluable in this world. And like I said, we all need to be, there needs to be more Bobs in this world. That's for sure.
He would never drive by anybody in trouble. He would never leave anybody stranded. He's always asking, I got a problem, need some help. And that's what we believe that you should be for redneck country. You should be volunteering to help. You should be looking to get people out of problems. And then pass it on.
Yep, the ripple effect. You got her. Anyway, so that's awesome. I wanted to bring that up because we got asked. I just got asked it this week as well, and it brought it to mind. And I thought, you know what? Instead of me trying to go on this long explanation, tell the story of Bob.
That's the right way to do it.
The Lily effect. Yeah.
Yep. I think that's a good spot to end it this week on a high note like that.
I agree. And I think it'd be good. We got some guests coming up. I should mention, I'm going to give an honor round because I know we just talked about it before the podcast lined up. We got, if anybody's followed Redneck Country on Facebook, it's been a couple years, but we got the Sasquatch. He is a bow technician and a 3D shooter. We're going to have him come on and he's going to shoot some, he does some 3D competitions. So we're going to maybe follow him along. I know you're talking about the actual man of your sibling rivalries there. Paulie, we could bring him on. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped. We got some spaces to go. You think 101, 102 episodes in, we'd be running out of something to talk about. Well, I wouldn't think anybody that knows me does it, but it still keeps it fresh, man. I love it. I love it.
I got to say one more time. The second week in November, I drove them 2 hides down to you, and here we are the second week in December, and they are tanned and done and in our hands, and that is incredible. And they are wonderful, Bill, and we cannot thank you.
Here. I'll agree.
I've wanted one for a long time, and boy, I'm telling you, I'm really enjoying
It's awesome.
that.
I carry mine around the house. Mine's sitting right behind me right now on the pool table, and then I'm going to carry it upstairs when I go.
Yeah.
No joke.
I was proud to do them for you guys anytime, you know that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Like, here we are. And it worked out for Todd's birthday just perfect. I'd have been on pins and needles waiting to give it to him for Christmas. So I'm glad the
I didn't upset your wife.
And now I have a trophy that I shot precision through the neck, not to sound cocky or arrogant. I was then able to skin it with my dad. Dad took it down to my best buddy, who then tanned it and prepared it. And so you talk about why do people get animals stuffed and mounted? I now have that look at that, what that means now to me. Yep. That's that'll freaking awesome.
Forever. I hope anyways.
Right?
Yep.
It's awesome. And thus far, the cats refuse to lay on it. So I'm going to continue to take it to bed so they don't lay on my freaking feet. I'm good to go.
Well, that's awesome.
And you know what? Having a bullet hole, it's actually got an enter and an exit hole. And you don't really notice them from the outside. But to me, it wouldn't bother me if you had a bullet hole. That's character to me.
Well, you turn it over, you tell a story.
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
It is. That's a story you can talk about and tell. And every one I do, they get a little bit better. And Todd's, I think, to be honest with you, yours was the best one I've done so far. So
they're awesome. They're awesome.
That's because you did it with love.
I did. I absolutely did. Happy birthday, buddy.
and to you.
Yeah.
See, you give me a deer tan hide, I give you a box of food.
Yeah, it's fair trade. Fair trade. All right.
Yep. Okay, Bill. Take care.
Until next week.
Yeah, we'll talk to you next week. Don't talk to me before that. I need something to talk to you about come next week.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Take care.
Yeah, peace out.
And that'll do it for this week, folks. For the Redneck Country Podcast, I'm Bill, the Almost Guy Thom.
And I'm Todd. Thanks for listening. And folks, if you want to be part of the podcast or you want to give us some feedback or really contact us about anything, feel free to email us at podcast@theredneckcountry.com. Again, that's podcast@theredneckcountry.com. Thanks for listening. Talk to you again next week.